Alright, what's going on, team? Today is the 29th of October 2025, and just want to get my trade recap for today. Yesterday there was no video because there was no trade. Alright, so um, yeah, I don't really see anything, especially um, on the hourly time frame. We weren't really respecting anything at the time. Um, So I decided, well, to me, I don't really find a trade that was good enough to take. So yeah, what was that? Yeah, I did have plans on gold today, but obviously sales. We did get a couple breaker structures, but again, we're still within this leg here. So I did think that, if we were to take a trade, it would be on this fair value gap here because what's paired next to it, a 1 hour kind of sweep here, and if we close bearish on this, that indicate to me that this would be a liquidity sweep into a 1 hour fair value gap, therefore not completing the structure. And what are we targeting? These hourly lows, these lows down here, and these lows to continue on the major trend here. EU, I did have a setup on EU, but again, with a nice target actually. Target was Asia lows. Um, but again, um, there wasn't any fair value gaps, right? So, or they were. So we had to push up into these 1 hour gaps here. We had to push up into this 1 hour fair value gap and this fair value gap. So I'm like, okay, cool. Now, we're tapped into hourly POIs, which makes the trade even more kind of probable. So I'm just like, okay, on the move up, we did create this fair value gap, this bullish fair value gap here. And we got a nice push into it. Try to reject off, but again, the 1 minute didn't really print any. Oh yes, that's right. The 1 minute did print a bullish fair value gap here, 1 minute, but again, we didn't close below it. Therefore, kind of came out, tapped an order block if you want to put it that way, and kind of fallen off here. But again, like I'm trying to stick to one entry model because it's what I know. So I decided not to take a trade on this. But this would have been a perfect like order block play here. That would be your order block, and price taps into it. Um, you kind of wait for price to close below here. Stops against here, and you could target Asia lows down here. But the trade was taken on GU. So what's interesting about uh, GU is I actually got stopped out, which as you can see that my stops were all the way above here. But the crazy thing is that this was like you see the small wick here. This was the candle that stopped me out. Even though stops were all above here, um, I still got stopped out. But again, I did get back in again because I saw this huge candle down here. So where this candle ended was where I entered. So pretty much like exactly where I entered before. But technically, there should have been a winning trade, just one winning trade. But again, like I saw that I got taken out and I see a displacement. I'm like, okay, cool. Like that's my one rule. If I see displacement after being taken out and no closure above, I'm ready to go back in. That's the only one rule that I've made to myself that gets me to take a second trade of the day. So yeah, what's interesting about this is that happened right on the 9 o'clock dot. So it's just something to be careful of when you are trading. Like new hourly candle openings, they do kind of present themselves. Um, yeah, 9 o'clock came right up and somehow took me out, but I guess TradingView hasn't loaded that part. But even on my like if I look on MT5 for a second, let me see here. Yeah, yeah, it looks the same as TradingView. I guess there was just so much volume within that hourly candle where we actually pushed up here. Um, and the pip spread kind of got me on that hourly open there. So um, but I did get back in here around the same point where I originally got in from. Again, BEs were at these 5 minute kind of breaks of structure because again, um, if we don't get that closure above here, this is obviously a liquidity sweep to target these low resistance liquidity up here to maybe even eventually tap into this 1 hour fair value gap here. This was purely a 5 minute play here. I did want a retracement out to take out kind of these equal highs up here, these 5 minute equal highs up here, tapping into the 1 hour fair value gap, then get that continuation down. But what we did end up getting was a continuation model where we get a 5 minute fair value gap on the push up, which was here. We get a huge volume up to fill in this 5 minute gap, but I do want to see a flip of this bullish 5 minute fair value gap here, which is what we got. We got to tap back into it, um, and on that move down, when we displace down, we did get a tap back into this 5 minute fair value gap too. So two POIs, which was this 5 minute inversion here and this 5 minute gap. I wasn't gonna take this trade if we did close above this 5 minute fair value gap, just because we did create it on the leg down. So ideally, price should respect this area. Um, as I prefer to take a fair value gap rather than an inversion because the fair value gap is fresh. It's made on the displacement leg. Inversion is some form of support and resistance. So it gives you kind of a clue. A POI, they're saying that hey, like sellers obviously stepped in here. It was and buyers weren't able to take control around this fair value gap. So it makes it a good kind of resistance points to continue down the trend. But again, on that leg down, we did create a 5 minute gap here, which I want to price at respect. So once price came up and tapped into this 5 minute fair value gap, and also this inversion, I was just waiting for a flip of um, a flip of the of a 1 minute inversion, which we did get here, but I wasn't really convinced because even though we did flip this one, we also tapped into this one here, at which price respected it, unable to continue the trend. When I did take my trade, I saw a breaker structure here, right? Or market structure shift, or whatever you want to call it. Um, let's do this. Market structure shift, save it. Um, So I saw a market structure shift here because we get a high, a low, a high, and we broke structure, right? We weren't able to close above here, and we broke structure to the downside, and also, um, we also broke through with displacement, so which led me to believe that hey, sales could work here. But what was also in the process, this 5 minute gap here, right? So we were also fighting this 5 minute gap, which was created on the bullish leg up into the 5 minute fair value gap and 5 minute inversion fair value gap. I hope I haven't lost you guys here, but we were fighting that, right? Um, as you can see, I did expect price to kind of break through this with with some form of displacement, but again we displaced into it. We already had that market structure shift, and I was sticking to my bias, right? Because what are we on all time frames? All time frames we are bearish. All time frames we are bearish, right? All time frames we are bearish. So when I see that 5 minute POIs aren't even holding to the upside, and we get a flip of that, that leads me to believe that hey, where can we look to target, right? Like there's not really anything to target on the 4 hour and the 1 hour, but on the daily, I see that we are making some moves down to this daily low here. This kind of a big resistance area where price will probably chop and then take it out, or take it out in a swift move. But I do think that price will come down here and take this out, depending on if we close below this low here. Because if we don't, That means that we just swept these lows down here, and it could be a reversal. So depending on what New York session does, but again, with high impact news coming out tomorrow, a lot of stuff, FOMC, funds rate, policy statement for USD, yeah, FOMC, press conference. So a lot of red news for CAD, USD, and JPY, and that affects the market as a whole, right? So um, if you're probably wondering why prices hurt like heading to a certain direction, it's always because of high impact news. So you're just kind of wanting to see a continuation from that, which is what I got from London session, right? So again, this is something that I've noted is that if I want to continue on the 5 minute trend, I need um, I need a displacement from, or I need a flip of a gap. That's what I need. I need a flip zone. So this is exactly what we got here. We created a 5 minute gap on the way down, um, from tapping into this 5 minute Fair Valley gap. Why did I choose this POI? Just because this Fair Valley gap was the one to displace through this bullish Fair Valley gap. So therefore, price shouldn't come back here again. And with that move down, we did create a 5 minute gap here, and price also tapping into this 5 minute inversion Fair Valley gap here. But on that move up, we also created a 5 minute bullish gap, which is here, right? So ideally, this is what I talked about before, is that sticking to your high time frame bias is that, hey, like the only, like, price shouldn't respect this gap. I do think that this gap is created to fill in this 5 minute Fair Valley gap here as price shot up, quickly, chopped up for a bit, and then since we chopped up for a bit, we created a 5 minute bullish Fair Valley gap in the process. So ideally this shouldn't really hold, but as you can see, buyers are really trying to step in here. I do think because we have all the stack liquidity here to at least take out something before continue on the trend. But again, sellers just really are in control here. So yeah, interesting that 9 o'clock candle opened, and this looks the same as my MT5, by the way. So my stops were above here, accounting for spread, but obviously it wasn't enough. So I think we had so much volume, and the spread um, increased. My spread kind of yeah, my pip spread kind of increased when that hourly candle opened, therefore stopping me out. But again, I still follow my rules here. As I saw a displacement candle, um, completely in regarding, when I see a displacement candle like this, I'm going in. Like, and I did have my BE at these 5 minute lows here, and uh, and I was targeting a 1 to 2 here, just because I did see a draw, which was these daily lows down here. But I did think that, hey, if we do break this 5 minute structure, we should displace from it. We should make a leg within it. So which is exactly what we got here, right? So we get that breaker structure. Price was deciding whether it wanted to be a sweep or a continuation to displace from, and what we got was a continuation, right? Which is what we got here. So I was just looking, once we passed these lows, I was clearly looking on the 5 minute, just to see how we close on this 5 minute candle. If we displacely close below it, I do think that another 5 minute candle should really push us through to our take profit, which is what we got here. So ideally, sucks that I did get stopped out, um, due to spread, which is very unfortunate. I do think it's like a one, like this doesn't really happen to much people, but like I do think that hourly candle had a lot to do with it, because again, I did get stopped out on this candle here, not this candle. So this candle is lower than this wick. So I do think that spread definitely increased. So when we had that little push up, the spread wasn't enough. So or like my SL wasn't enough to account for spread. So um, yeah, which sucks. But again, I saw a displacement candle. I still follow my rules. I stopped out, but I saw displacement straight away, and I entered again. So ideally, I'm happy with today, especially with high impact news. Um, high impact news coming out on New York session, so it'll be interesting to see what tomorrow looks like. Um, I do think that this is a heavy week this week, so it'll be interesting to see, what they have going on there. So yeah, yeah. So tomorrow we should be in the clear, and we should be in the clear to tomorrow and the next day on for Friday to trade. So yeah, yeah. So we should be looking clear after today. So market should hopefully act normal, and we should see a recovery from all these kind of stacked liquidity up here. So yeah, good day today so far. As you can see, this easy continuation models here. Unfortunately, um, yeah, I didn't catch that consolidation range, unfortunately. But it's something that you have to deal with in trading, but you stick to your buys, you stick to your plan, and things will kind of look out for you. So yeah, good day so far. Didn't trade yesterday again. I didn't really find anything, and if I did, it was past my trading time frame, as I like to trade within the two first hours. Especially if I didn't see anything developing within the first hour, hour and a half, I'll just get off. So, yeah, sticking to my rules, stick to your rules, be consistent on your rules, and yeah, you will have your edge in the market and the way you understand things. But jumping right into it, oh no, jumping out of it actually. Just want to say, all glory to God. Wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him. And I'll catch you guys later. Peace.